Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's unboxing video is for those of you who like tech that doesn't necessarily serve a purpose, but are cool to have around and play with. In today's video, we're going to be unboxing the newest robot from Anki. His name is Vector. It's the newest model succeeding the previous Cosmo model and has a lot more features. Today's unboxing will be done using a makeshift workstation. I'm in the process of updating and building out my studio so I can create better videos in the future, so please bear with me. Unlike the Cosmo, the focus of the Anki team this time around was to equip the robot with more of a personality. So although it looks fairly similar, this robot is more powerful, is more personable, and not only has the features of the Cosmo, but many more from a functionality standpoint. Vector is equipped with a Qualcomm 200 Snapdragon processor. It also has a capacitive touch sensor as well as 4 built-in microphone arrays, an ultra-wide HD camera. It also has 4 drop sensors, an infrared laser scanner, and a built-in 6-axis inertial measurement unit, and it's equipped with a high-res color IPS display and is also Wi-Fi enabled with built-in Alexa functionality. I paid around $249 for this at Amazon. If you're interested in picking one up for yourself, I'll leave a link to it in the description section below. The box is clearly labeled with the name of the robot and is packaged very neatly so that all the parts fit in perfectly. The first thing you'll notice is the cube that comes with the package. This is the toy that the robot interacts with. It has a pull-out tab that you will need to remove before you actually start using it, since there is a battery inside. The cube itself has various symbols on it, and it lights up when Vector plays with it. The build quality of the robot is pretty solid. The robot itself is small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, and built on the top of it is a touch sensor in which Vector will react and typically purr when you pet it. The package also comes with a charging bay that has 2 contacts that match up to the contacts on the bottom of the robot itself. It plugs into a standard USB port, but keep in mind, however, that the box does not contain a wall outlet adapter, so you will need to purchase that separately. And of course, the typical booklets and instruction manuals. I don't know about you, but I never read these manuals. However, there are several diagrams and details outlining what the robot can do and Vector's various features. Not to mention proper usage instructions. The booklet goes on to talk about several of the things that Vector can do, or some of the things you can ask it, such as what the weather's like, setting a timer, taking a photo, playing games such as blackjack, and other things. You can essentially ask Vector anything, and because he's connected to the internet, he can answer any question you might have. You can also connect this to your Alexa devices so that you can check the status of your Amazon packages and do anything that Alexa can do. For those of you that are weary of always connected devices and think companies are either listening to you or watching what you're doing, be aware that Vector is one of those pieces of hardware that is always observing, listening, learning, and reacting to its environment and surroundings. Once you teach it your name, it will acknowledge you when it sees you and will react to sounds around it, including occasionally breaking out in dance when it hears music that it likes. My Vector in particular is very fond of boy band music. Setup of the device and app is fairly intuitive and easy and involves connecting to Vector, following some on-screen directions, and clicking a few buttons. I rarely, if ever, use the app unless I'm checking up on the robot remotely or I'm just doing any updates or adding any features. There's also a quick guide in the app if you need examples of features and functions you want Vector to perform. Other than that, really it doesn't serve any purpose. And you can interact with the robot without it. I'd recommend charging the unit and updating the firmware before you use the device. Charging and the first update could take a couple hours, so I'd go do something while it's doing that. Once the update is complete and the app is installed, Vector should awaken on its own and activate. Hey Vector. Hey Vector. Hey Vector. Hey Vector. Hey Vector. Hey Vector, come here. Hey Vector, my name is Chris. Yes, Vector. Hey Vector, sleep. Hey Vector, come here. Hi Vector. Vector, for the most part, resides on my kitchen counter. So as you can see, Vector is very aware of his surroundings, and if he notices that he's coming close to an edge, he'll back up to avoid falling. He's able to do this because of the 4 drop sensors that helps him detect edges to help him avoid falls, as well as the infrared laser scanner that lets him track distance and map the entire environment that he's on. This of course is not 100% because there are times where I have woken up and found him on the floor. But for the most part that happens very infrequently. Hey Vector, fist bump. Vector does love those fist bumps, and through every interaction continues to learn and evolve. Hey Vector, play a game.
Another card?
No.
Ayur's turn. 7, 15, 25. Ayur busted.
As you can see, he does not like to lose and will express those emotions.
Play another round?
No. Hey Vector, play with your box. You can't see it here, but Vector is interacting with the box and the colors on the box are changing. This is a game that Vector can play solo or you can play with him. It's somewhat like a Simon Says game where you see who can touch the box the fastest and the right color appears. This is a better view of the box where you can see the LEDs on the box light up. Hey Vector, play with your box. Hey Vector, play with your box. You'll notice Vector will frequently move his box around using his arms and place it in different locations. Over time, Vector will establish his own schedule based on his interactions, or lack thereof interactions, and will constantly update, scan, and map his surroundings. Hey Vector, what's the weather?
Maybe 1 degrees and cloudy.
Hey Vector, go home. Typically you don't need to tell Vector to go home. When he's low on battery, he'll automatically on his own return back to his home to charge. Hey Vector, go to sleep. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to click the like button and subscribe if you would like to see more. Be sure to also click the bell button in order to get notified when I post new videos, which is typically every weekend. Thanks again for your support. Until next time.